when I come here, he's still going to probably push my head off, and now he's back, and I feel a little bit in danger. So as soon as you get to this position, if you push this up, I suggest you grip here, grip his ankle to keep this knee from recovering guard. But the other, as soon as you get here, just put your head in here. Put your head, your arm over. Now when he goes to recover guard, right? Go ahead. Yeah, he can't cross up. So we're just trying to take that cross up away. So anytime as you're, and you know, if you're here, streetwise, right? You want here, look, you're right back. And again, we're back to our knee in the stomach position to avoid the bite. So a couple brief concepts, apply them in your grappling, it's going to help you pass the guard. Let's talk about subs. Submissions. Hey, great, you work submission wrestling, you work jiu-jitsu, you're always looking for those subs. I really like seeing people who are constantly going for the sub. Like I said, I trained with Barrett Yoshida for years and years, and then cornering him also. And his whole thing is going for the sub. Just to know something about Barrett, we'd go to competition. My job was to know the rules, because he had no idea. He had no idea how many points this was and that. His thing, he just went for the sub. And with a minute or so left, if he was behind on points, I would coach him. I go, oh, Barry, you need some points. Try to pass his guard or whatever, and sweep him or something. And that was my whole job, because he literally didn't know the rules. So that is a great mentality, because it comes from the fighting mentality. Barrett, being from Hawaii, there's a lot of fighting in Hawaii. We have beautiful beaches and great weather, the whole thing. It's a warrior culture. So there's a lot of fighting involved. So we always have that in mind, how to finish the person. Now, I just want you to think about this for submission. Say he goes on his back. Okay? Oh, he's there. Okay? Maybe, again, you get that knee in the stomach position, and for whatever, I say, oh, well, I'm just going to slide up, and I'm going to work into an arm bar right here, right? Well, then what? What if I break his arm? Then what? He's probably going to get up and try to hit me with that same arm, and he's going to keep fighting. I just sacrificed top position to go to my back. Now, there are situations where someone is not totally committed to fighting you, especially after they find out you know what you're doing, that they will give up. You might be in a safety grapple situation, especially with other people around, and they give up, okay? And there are other people to make sure he doesn't continue. But I did have a student years ago in LA who was accosted by somebody living on the street. He was in a downtown area, and he dealt with the guy, and he got him to the ground, and he pinned him on the ground. And the guy said, I quit, I give up, all this. So my student, being nice, let him go and started to walk away. And the guy pulled a knife out of his shoe, out of his boot, and stabbed him in the leg with a rusty old knife. That's what actually happens in the street. That's the for real deal. So the same thing with, having someone just submit. You have to make sure you can enforce that submission. They don't just keep going. So I just want to encourage you to think about arm bars, kimuras, omoplata. All these things are good, but they are down the priority chain when we're talking about street self-defense. Because sure, we can get somebody to tap, but what we're trying to do is take the fight out of them. We want to take the fight out of them, and that's where the choke. We go back to the chokes we talked about before, rear naked choke, the guillotines, chokes from all over, all kinds of chokes. When you're self-defense oriented, I suggest that you really specialize in the chokes. So wherever you are, you have something available to you, because the chokes will take the fight out of somebody. So just be aware of that when you're doing submissions. Like here, take like this, let's rotate this way. I'm here. Somehow I walked up here and I came, boom, arm bar. Well, it's a good idea to do after you do the arm bar is, especially as he starts to stack and all, is let go and use that to move to the back, right? So always think about using your submissions to transition to the back, transition to a choke, and it'll make it a little more street specific. Leg attacks. How about leg attacks, right? Very popular. Ryan Hall does it really well in MMA. The thing is, again, if you attack the ligaments, because that's actually what we're doing, we're trying to tear ligaments. If you do that, it doesn't guarantee the person's going to stop. Right? In a tournament, they will stop, and you'll sometimes see that they're injured. But when there's fighting involved, they might keep going. There's a fight not too long ago, and it was clear that the one excellent leg locker tore the ligaments of the other guy. The other guy just decided not to tap, and he just kept going, and he got out, and he kept fighting for another couple rounds, even though he clearly had torn ligaments, and he's favoring it a little bit, but he kept fighting, right? What happens if the guy has a knife or a gun? He's still fighting, and you're underneath. A lot of times you get underneath, right, and maybe right, this leg is up. Is this one okay?
Yeah.
Right? Use this one? Okay, great. I'm going to use this one, right? You get, no, you want to go? Right. When I get to this position, like this, and I'm working in, and I'm trying to get that turn and all, or if he moves back just the way he comes back a little bit, if I can work to the outside here and get that and turn, great. But then what? Again, what happens? Maybe I'm able to finish this right here, and then what? I gotta let go at some point, right? I can't stay here forever. I let go, and he's still fighting, right? Look what the position I'm in, right? So it's just, again, for street self-defense, you have to be aware that may not be the best tactic, but sometimes it just happens. You're in the position, if you don't know leg locks, you might have an opportunity that you miss. So I highly suggest, take the time, work the leg locks. There appears to be some guy named Danaher, something like that. There's a great series out with BJJ Fanatics, which I enjoy. So check that out too.
Speaking of leg locks, you've probably seen this one. Here it is. Again, argument on the basketball court. They're both upset. But first of all, look at his posture here. Look at that. See how he's bladed? His